for me personally, I've set boundaries in my life. I'm not going to be one-on-one with a guy. We're not going to go have dinner and just be friends.
Yeah.
I don't think, I don't think that, I don't think that guys and girls should be doing things like that in a group setting. 100%, we can have conversations, no worries. But being one-on-one with a guy might be a boundary that you can set. Hey, I'm not going to do that because I feel like that might lead me into, telling you some things that maybe you shouldn't be hearing.
Yeah, I agree. I think as girls, we are quite emotional in our decision making, in the way things arise. Like if you see your conversation leading into a topic that just is open to, what your heart is going through, or things of that kind of nature, you wanna guard that, like you said. But also, if you find it going in that way, maybe take a step back and just analyze like what this friendship looks like and what you want it to look like going forward. I was listening to someone's story in this topic. She was kind of like going and hanging out with a guy one-on-one as friends, and they thought they were just friends, but eventually emotions get involved, and you might start liking this person, and if it's one-sided, you're kind of pursuing something that isn't, you're not both pursuing it together, if that makes sense. So one person's pursuing you, but the other one thinks that you're just friends, and I feel like that can just leave an emotional tie to that person, and leave you end up feeling, heartbroken when there really wasn't anything there. So I think as girls, we need to limit that emotion.
Definitely. And it's just confusing, honestly, like being, sort of, it's so invested in someone, and you might know that they have that they don't feel that way towards you, and that just is really confusing and hard. So I guess putting up emotional boundaries are very important, for guarding your heart against, heartbreak, or even just, falling into sin that you don't want to, initially fall into. But I think also physical boundaries are really important. And these sort of these should come in a conversation. I definitely encourage, like if you have, if you're a girl and you have a guy friend, I'm not saying never talk to them again. I think it would be very wise of you to have a conversation with them first of all, and set these boundaries clear. Like, hey, you know what? We're not going to talk over the phone at night, or, we're not going to message as much as, we're not going to message 24/7. But having physical boundaries as well, we're not going to go out maybe one-on-one and do walks on the beach. You know what I mean? Like
that's so cliche.
I tried to think of the most romantic thing I could think of. But things like that, you have to be able to set emotional and physical boundaries, because, you can become dependent on someone when you should be depending on God for things in your life, which is something you need to be careful of as well.
Yeah, if you're like the first person you want to tell when something bad or something good happens is a guy that is not, your future spouse, you should probably be rethinking how that friendship looks like. But I think also you don't want to confuse the other person, like you said. Like it can be confusing for yourself, but you also shouldn't be just thinking about yourself, but thinking about the other person.
100%.
Because this other person also has a future spouse, whether that be you or not. You've got to be considerate of that, and considerate of both your testimonies and how that looks like, and how others may perceive that as well.